right, Sean Zattel here with the former unified lightweight champion and lineal super lightweight champion of the world, Teofimo Lopez, fighting August 22nd here in Las Vegas for the WBA welterweight championship against Rolando Romero. Teo, man, simple one to start. How's camp been? How are you feeling heading into this fight?
Well, I'm feeling like a champ, that's for sure. And camp's been going great. We got sparring later today, but we've just been persistent. We've been consistent as well, and we're just focused on this one. My 147 welterweight debut. Looking forward to taking over the division, and it starts with Rolando Romero.
You know, you've gotten one stoppage in the last 8 or 9 fights when you were Pedro Campa. How is your power feeling at 147 pounds? Does it feel rejuvenated at all, getting to this weight class?
No, yeah, I think that it's comforting. It's comforting in my body. So I think mentally I'm there when it comes to the physicality part, and I just can't wait to express that, you know, on that night, on fight night. So it's been great. I feel much better, and I'm excited for everyone to really tune in. It's going to be a good one to watch.
How do you think you'll translate to welterweight? You know, some guys have that 70-plus inch reach that have gone up from the lightweights to the welterweights. Your arms are a little shorter, and Rolly looked big and strong against Ryan Garcia at 147. How do you think you'll fill out and translate there?
I think I'm going to fill out just right. You know, I think what I did at 35 in lightweight, I think that's what's going to occur, if not better, at 47 now with experience, you know, with me at that. So, yeah, I look forward to it. I think no matter the reach or anything, you could talk about the guys that were shorter, even Pacquiao, for crying out loud. But Pacquiao's Pacquiao, right? But just not in comparison, but to see that as inspiration, that if he could do it, why can't Teofimo? So, you know, he's definitely somebody. He had power the whole time. So I think that we could definitely implement that in the welterweight division.
Yeah, and you have experience with Manny Pacquiao and could see some of the things that would allow a guy with those dimensions to have success up at that weight class, right? So
no, yeah, most definitely. I think he even gave me fine pointers on how he does his punching and how he connects them. So I'm just taking that and soaking all that into this next camp, into this next fight.
Was it I mean, I know those kind of tools of the trade, they stay between the champions, but what could you share about the advice he gave you fighting, you know, bigger, longer guys the more you go higher in weight?
Punch output. So the punch output is going to really distract you to really get in there closer and step in. So those are the things that you see with Pacquiao, right? So that really, it dawned on me on that part where I was like, okay, so the more you blur them, they're not going to notice that you're actually creeping up on them at the same time. So those are things that we're really working on and looking to capitalize, for sure.
And feeling more comfortable with the weight allows you to have more energy, to have more output. Is that the case?
Yeah, and also you gotta really increase the endurance. You got to. I mean, these guys are bigger, so they're gonna be weighing on you. They're gonna be trying to grab on you and put their weight on you throughout the rounds. This is a 12-round fight, so you know those are the things that you also gotta be. How is it, like, aware of it. So that's really it.
Yeah, would that be important in this fight? The volume, when Rolly's been very economical with his punch output now. He's just relying on his counter and his timing and his power these days. Not throwing a whole lot of punches like earlier in his career.
Yeah, I think that, you know, with Rolly, he's really focused on getting his shots in and making sure every shot that he gets counts and it matters, and it makes the fighter himself think about coming in or not, right? But I don't think that's going to be the case here. I really don't. I don't think so. I think that those 1, 2 pop shots, 3 pop shots, I've learned from my experience in the past fights. I think now it's just more so capitalizing and showing why we're here to stay and why we're here to take over.
Well, talk about, you know, learning from past fights. Shakur, he had a lot of success doing that and kind of having that line, making it hard to pass that line of distance. And there was a number of times you would go in with the right hand, kind of have to cross your feet, and struggled with that. Rolly, under Salas, seems like he's gotten better at drawing that line of distance as well. He implemented it very good against Ryan. How do you think you deal with that in this fight?
I think the difference is the jabs, right? So when you mentioned the right hand, I didn't start with a jab to close in that gap. So that's really what we've been working on. I mean, my left arm is killing me right now from the amount of jabs we've been working on, but it's to strengthen that arm and to remind it, what is the most important punch in boxing? The jab. So by doing those things, we're going to capitalize on closing in that gap. You know, without the jab, I can't really find that range of throwing the right hand or the uppercut or the right hooks, anything like that. So, yeah, we've been really technical with this camp coming around.
Yeah, because against Barboza, the fight previous to that, the jab upstairs, downstairs, touching, probe, everywhere with it was really, really effective. Same thing in the Vasyl Lomachenko fight. So, in addition to that, fighting a guy who's not a southpaw now, fellow Orthodox, does all that lead to, like you're talking about, a more effective jab, setting things up in this fight?
Exactly. You know, just putting it out there and just not letting him find his rhythm, you know, and that's the most important thing of this whole thing. So whether we're so close into the fight now, there won't be as many significant changes that Rolly's team can do or that I need to change to capitalize and get this victory on August 22nd.
You know, I talked to Ishmael Salas back in Hollywood when you guys had your initial presser.
Mm-hmm.
He's, even though you're only 29 years old, you just had your 29th birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
He thinks you're already aging, and you know, fighters that a big part of their game is athleticism. Into your 30s, you know, that starts to wane. But at 29 already, he's feeling like your speed isn't the same, your legs aren't the same. What do you make of Ishmael Salas's assessment there?
His assessment is just it's just on my previous fights and at 140. But I think that they have a big surprise coming, for sure. You know, I'm very hard on myself when it comes to criticizing myself and what I need to do in my craft. So those things that he mentions and everything, I make sure that doesn't occur on August 22nd, nor any other previous fight that comes after.
What are the main improvements you'd say, or changes to like the slugger that used to be, you know, all the knockouts at the Sam's Club, that wild slugger, to the fighter he is now at welterweight with Salas? What would you say Salas has changed or improved in Rolly?
I think what he's changed in Rolly a little bit was more patience in his shots and seeing everything right from afar, from a distance, not really getting himself out of his stance and trying to well on these guys. I think now they're being more technical, so to speak. You know, so those are the things that I'm excited for and looking to expect in Rolando Romero. Whether he comes forward at me too and they try to walk me down, we're ready for those things as well. You know,
yeah,
the thing is that what's going to play a major factor here is not just his punching power, but what my power is going to determine in his reactions afterwards.
Yeah, because when he commits, he could get a little off balance because he punches so hard, though, so it seems like less has been more. By him trying to be more the counter puncher, he's less susceptible from committing to those shots too much first off, right? So
yeah. So those things too, man. We just got to make it exciting at the same time. The fans are here to see a fight, you know, not just a friendly one, but a fight that's going to be bloody and whatnot. You know, knockouts, knockdowns, all those great things, and I'm here for it all.
You really think it's going to be that kind of fight? It's not going to be two guys that can punch, who are respectful of each other's power and respectful of each other as people, that it won't be a slow-paced fight because of that?
No, I think that we're at a point now where I think that he believes he's better than me, and I know I'm better than him, and we're gonna really have to show that on that night, on Saturday night, on that fight night. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be one of those being careful type of fights.
He continues to say, you know, you're his little brother, right?
Yeah.
And you know, in that kind of carry an air of like superiority. You know, he thinks does any part of you, want to punch him in the face, show him what it really is when it comes to that kind of dynamic?
Well, sure. Anyone that's had a big brother, you know, and all those things. So, you know, sometimes a little brother wants to step up to the plate. That's all it is, you know. So if you call me little brother, it's all right. Little brother gonna probably have to put the paws on him now. Is
there any you think resentment beneath all that? You know, friendship that you guys once had, still have, all that. You know,
no, man. We signed the contracts. Ain't no friends no more, man. We here to actually fight. This guy is actually gonna be here to try and knock me out and put on a highlight reel. Can't allow that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, when you really think about it, don't let that emotional state confuse you of what's really gonna happen physically. So that mindset of him is to put on. No one's ever knocked me out. You know what I'm saying? God willing, no one does, you know? So that's the whole thing about it. Gotta make sure that doesn't occur nor happen August 22nd.
What makes you a tougher fight for him than Ryan Garcia? A tougher style for him than how he was able to handle Ryan?
Say I'm coming off a loss, and with that comes a lot of a switch in my mindset. Yeah, I really want this. I want this bad. So, and I think he knows that, and I think that's something that he's expecting. So, yeah, man, when this happens and this occurs, it's a reality check to know that I'm not done yet. Not at all. Just getting started.
Yeah, and a lot of people would see the phrase as corny, the eye of the tiger thing, but you actually are one of the fighters that loves the Rocky series. So,
yeah.
Who has more of that edge, that eye of the tiger between the two fighters heading into this one?
Say myself. I'd say myself. Every time. He hasn't even watched the Rocky film, so he don't even know what we're talking about. So yeah, I have to stick to myself on that one.
Just want to ask you.
And this is not Rocky from the Rocky 3 before.
Clubber, the first fight.
Yeah, before Clubber. Yeah, before that. No, the first fight. No, this is Rocky 3, the second fight.
When he went back to the drawing board,
got
really some new wrinkles in his game. All that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Well, just want to ask you about a couple fights going on in the division.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. You know, who do you favor and why?
Who do I favor and why? Honestly, that's up. That's up in the air, man. I would like to see Conor Benn actually put on a good showing and good fight for Ryan, and actually give him some challenges there. You know, obviously Conor Benn didn't look as exciting and as great against an experienced fighter like Regis Prograis. You know, definitely gave him something to fight and earn for in that fight. But and then you see Ryan, he swept the floor on Barrios. So if we see the same Ryan that we saw in Barrios, I think he's unbeatable right now. So, you know, it should be a great fight though. Overall, people should definitely tune in. And you know, the only thing that's the downside of that is it's not on DAZN everywhere.
Well,
it's the only downside.
You know, Ryan. Terrence Crawford noted he's questioning Ryan's focus heading into this fight. And to be fair to Terrence, like, his body looked better at this stage of camp heading into the Barrios fight. Just looking at him physically, his body right now, about 6 weeks out from the fight, looks more like it did heading into the upset loss to Rolly. You know, but you said if he comes in like Barrios, he'll be unbeatable in this fight. But is that the version you think we're getting from the outside looking in?
I think we're gonna get an example of what it is. You always hear the saying where they say it's easier to get the belt, but then it's harder to keep it, right? So you always hear that type of saying, and maybe Ryan right now might find out that, right? Ideally, in the business aspect, everyone wants to see Ryan win. But Conor Benn is hungry. He's in there. He's in the gym every day. He's speaking Spanish to the man, and he's not even Spanish. So, you know, he's not Hispanic. So I think those things show the determination and what it means to Conor Benn. You know, when he didn't look so great against Ubik the first time, he came back with vengeance the second time. So definitely, Conor Benn is no pushover, man. I said it before, I think Conor Benn might pull the upset. But we just have to wait and see, man.
Is Conor Benn on that level? Because I see guys like Shakur and Ryan, they seem like you're just not on this level, bro. You're tough, you got heart and all that, but you're not on the level of us and Teo and Devin and those guys. Do you see him? Is he really on that level?
Technically, like on a technicality part, yeah, possibly. Yeah, he's not as like technically sounded like the rest of us, but the man has heart, the man has grit, and all you need in boxing is that really to overcome those things and push forward, right? The only thing I would credit, I would critique a little bit is the way that they're training for the Ryan Garcia fight. It's too enclosed. It's too enclosed.
You mean in terms of distance, the range he's throwing his punches at, his head kind of forward?
That's all that's all for like food for Ryan to capitalize and punch on. So, and Ryan would definitely try to hit those tempo shots. But I'm rooting for Conor Benn, man, and you know.
You're rooting for him?
Yeah, I'm rooting
over Ryan?
Over Ryan, yeah.
Why is that?
Because then I could go back in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And possibly have a potential fight.
Wouldn't Ryan be the bigger fight though? Bigger unification?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Both guys are a great matchup for myself moving forward after this.
Yeah, Ryan's still. I mean, he's got at least one more fight with DAZN after this. You're with DAZN now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the fight you know, the unification you want the most, or are you more interested in Devin Haney?
I spoke to Devin Haney about this, and I told Devin Haney, I said, me and you, and this was in the back. This was in the back behind, like, whatever, the VIP sections of at the Barclays Center when Boots and Xander fought, or when Xander and Boots fought. I told him, you and me, we're gonna go two different sides, we're gonna go on different paths, but we're gonna meet at the end for Undisputed at welterweight. He said, all right, those are your words. I said, and I'm keeping them. Let's get it going. So I think right now it's more so who wins September 12th, but mainly right now focus on August 22nd. We'll go from there. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna see Haney until the end.
Do you think, because the book on Teofimo, whether it's Jermaine, Sandor, Shakur, if you fight off your back foot, if you keep it long, he's going to struggle against that. And Devin's very good at doing that. Do you think at 29 you could still improve as a fighter to beat the style of a Devin Haney at some point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to practice. You got to practice on all those fundamentals. That's it. That's really it. I'm a pure boxer when it comes to it, but at the same time, I know that coming forward, to many, it's like, oh, that's a flaw of mine, but flaws are meant to happen so that you can fix them.
Is the Stevenson fight going to be a blessing in that case, where maybe, because when you win and your talent still lets you get away with it, okay, I may have looked bad against Sandor Martin, I may have looked not great against Jermaine, but I still won. Is the Stevenson fight a blessing? It's like, all right, now these technical things, whatever, picking my hand up here and there on the front foot, that actually will be addressed now. Is it a blessing in that case?
Everything's a blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every fight has a good reason, whether you win or lose, why you learn and what are you learning from it. Like, I already know the hiccups that I do in between, so absolutely. Mainly for me, it's my mindset though. If I really want something bad, I'm gonna get it. You know, in those fights, I just wasn't clicked on there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think moving forward now, it's more than ever. Yeah, more than ever. I think my goal at the end of it is, before the 2028 Olympic Games start, be undisputed at welterweight division.
That's the goal, the big goal now.
That's my at least short-term goal.
And then lastly, man, you know, you had what appeared to be an offer on the table with Zuffa. You ultimately signed with DAZN. You got the DAZN hat on, Takeover Promotions. What's that been like now, being your own promoter, and what made you choose that path over the alternative?
When you think about it, the alternative of Zuffa, the league, or whatever you want to call it, I think that it's just not my style. It doesn't represent Make Boxing Great Again. It doesn't represent Teofimo. You know, of course it's new, and just like anything else, things that come new, they're gonna come with a lot of money, and you know, but for how long and all those things, you gotta have that wager of what's happening here. The DAZN is collecting all the major promoters, and all the big fights are on that side, across the pond. There's nobody on Zuffa that's in the welterweight division right now, other than Conor. And you know, but until then, the DAZN is taking over. The DAZN is the people that are capitalizing and understanding the market and the value of the sport, and I love it and I respect it. So I think it was a no-brainer for me. Once it got to that point, I have a floor, and the more I keep winning, the floor just keeps getting better.
Thanks for your time, Teo. Have a good fight August 22nd, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.